And so here the fair linen remains. And you said that the dust cover is placed for what purpose?
To keep dust and debris off of the fair linen. Mm-hmm. The air conditioning system sometimes flaps little particles down. Mm-hmm.
So the fair linen is always on the altar?
Mm-hmm.
Except for when it's
Except
removed on
Holy Week.
Yep. Holy Thursday.
Our linens are over here, and thanks to one of our leaders, the drawers are labeled. We have small linens in the top drawer, and they involve corporals. And the corporal is really considered the holiest of our linens, and this is the thing that goes under the elements of communion.
So on top of the fair linen and under the elements. So.
Right.
It's the cloth the priest uses to consecrate the elements on.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually represents the head cloth, Christ's burial head cloth.
Mm-hmm.
And the corporal is always folded inside out, so that the area that was next to Jesus' body, Jesus' head, is right side up.
And is there any embroidery on those cloths?
Yes, and we have what we consider our own. We have it on almost all of the All Souls linens. It's just a special cross that we like, and it's on most of our linens. The small linens that we use are in the top drawer. Baptismal towels, towels. That's a pall, and that goes with the setup when we set up for communion.
It sits right on top of the principal chalice, and the corporal lays right on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
In this half we have various things that we use in our cleanup needs.
Mm-hmm. And are those your oils for baptism and for healing? And
yes.
Mm-hmm. So maybe we can see what goes on the credence table then?
This is it.
Actually, we would take these back into the sacristy and polish them with brass polish and make sure they shine very well. Mm-hmm. And we would refill the candles with oil.
Mm-hmm. And this is really a weekly process?
It's a weekly process.
Mm-hmm.
And we also do the processional cross that's carried in. It has to be polished as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the torches that the acolytes carry, they need to be refilled and cleaned each week. We would check to see that the hangings in front of the pulpit and the lectern are the correct ones for the season. And we would replace them if they needed to be replaced. Mm-hmm. And also the banners. Mm-hmm. We would change them or see that the correct ones are here for the season.
There's a calendar in the sacristy that tells us each Sunday what the appropriate colors are for the season.
Right.
And it is green.
Mm-hmm.
Also on Saturday, we would prepare the hymn boards on either side to make sure that it has the correct heading that identifies the Sunday, like the 19th Sunday of Pentecost or whatever. And then we would put the hymns and the psalms and the numbers on the hymn boards each week.
You spoke about removing all distractions.
We would go through each pew and make sure hymn books were where they were supposed to be, which is in the center, and the prayer books were on either side, and that there were no leaflets left from last week, that there were no Kleenex or any debris left. And that's a double check behind David.
Yeah.
He does not do the hymn books and the prayer books, but he certainly checks for debris, but we double check that.
Right.
We do give special attention to these linens. We like for them to be clean and snow white, if possible.
And not wrinkles over here.
And the same for the other linens, the purificators that the chalice bearers use to wipe the chalice. I was trained by Joanna Coons, a saint of this parish and a saint of the Altar Guild, and she didn't want anything out here that wasn't snow white in terms of
With
linen.
no stain.
She would say to me, "Louis, this is for our Lord." So we want it to be the best that we can offer.
And one of the things that I admire so much about the work of the Altar Guild is you attend to that so carefully, yet on the first and third Sundays when the children come up, and certainly handle, I know it probably gives you heart palpitations, but but you don't stop it.
No.
You know, and that is, I think that is such a gift to the church, that we see the both ends. The messiness of living and the intentionality of this pristine offering to our Lord, right?
Your heart does skip.
Yes. Yeah, is the camera going to fall?
When you see the little faces like
I
right
know.
here, it's
And
It makes it
and you
work.
see the little hands go.
Yes, I know.
No,
but money can't buy that kind
No.
of training.
no.
That's a compassion.
It can always be clean.
That's right. Our mistakes can always be made right, right?
Absolutely.
And do you, who sets, like at the lectern, who sets the readings, who marks the readings? Do you,
Kyle does
does that. And do you do anything at the ombud?
On Sunday morning, we put a glass of water and make sure it's tidy, and we put fresh water.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a nosy question. There's hooks on the back of the altar that most people don't see. Why are there hooks on the back of the altar?
That's for when there's a frontal. It connects to these hooks.
Okay. So the big fancy frontal that we see hooks to
To
those
go
hooks.
frontal or
And that's for Christmas and sometimes Easter.